You know, Casey, this is the first place I ever saw a show.
Really?
Other than, you know, junior high plays at other schools. This is the first time. It was the early 70s, and it was Cat Stevens.
Wow.
Yep, the very first time I went here. And then after that, I started coming here quite often. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at this.
Well, I'll never forget my first time walking in here. I was about this tall, going to the Nutcracker as a little kid, as so many little kids did during that time, and continue to come for our family programming today. But when you're a little kid, this feels really big.
And when you're a big kid, this still feels big.
Still feels really big.
It's really good.
When I was thinking about this conversation we were going to have today, I was thinking about the fact that this theater opened almost 100 years ago in 1925.
Crazy.
And that people used to get dressed up here in, you know, their Sunday best to go to a movie in this theater. And
really crazy.
It's amazing to think about 3,500 people sitting together for a movie, all dressed to the nines. And it's such a cool thing that we can still do some of that today when you think about our culture that has become on their phones and on their screens that we can...
A little bit more casual.
Yes,
you know,
it's a little more casual. You see people in hoodies sometimes.
But it's still a great place for the community to get together. Hey, Casey, you know about this right here.
Oh, absolutely.
Look at this. This is amazing. The Wang Theater at the Boch Center went under a big renovation in the late 80s. And this was covered. This was covered. They didn't know it was here. And then they were like, hey, it's hollow. And they opened it up, and look at this. And we put Mr. and Mrs. Wang there to honor them for the theater.
It's unbelievable.
What could they be thinking when you cover that up?
I know.
Check this out. This is a microcosm of Boston music, the folk scene, the rock scene, the boy band scene. Just so much music came out of Boston and spurred the country, if not the world, in a lot of different genres.
Yes, and this is, as far as I know, the first time this has all been put together in exhibits in a theater like this, where people can enjoy it, coming to the show, coming on a tour. So we're getting thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are viewing the history of Boston's music scene in a whole new way every year.
Right, and we're in Farhoff, the Folk America Roots Hall of Fame on the 3rd floor, as of now on the 3rd floor, but as it grows, I'm sure it's going to cover many more floors.
Indeed.
So we get into everything that happened at the beginning of the scene in Boston and current, and it's super, super cool. We've got the rock stuff, Joe Perry's guitar that he donated to Farhoff, and those of you that are into, you know, rock and roll, Peter Wolf. Peter came by himself personally and gave this, as did Tom Schultz, came by and personally gave that guitar to Farhoff. And of course, jazz has always been big in Boston.
Absolutely.
So as of now, Farhoff lives at the Boch Center in the Wang Theater, and we'd invite everybody to come and check it out. So we just came up on the 2nd floor, kind of going on the, well, this is officially the 2nd floor. But I'll tell you, this view here, I don't often see it, and if you ever get a chance to see it, the theater completely empty, with just the living entity of the Wang Theater. Look at this. This is just absolutely gorgeous.
These walls, they have the energy of every performer and audience member that has ever sat in these seats and played on this stage, and you feel that when you're in here.
And this is one of the biggest stages east of the Mississippi in a theater. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So as we walk down here on the 2nd floor, looking down into the theater, there's a nice little surprise here, Casey.
There is a nice little surprise.
That I did. When I became officially part of the theater in 2016, I saw this room, and it needed a little work. And maybe they can show a before and after picture during this little film here.
Yes.
But as we go in here, you got to check this out.
Well, look what we have here.
So Casey, this is the Subaru of New England Lounge.
Wow.
And Ron Parnell was really kind to give us some of his historic rock and roll pictures. Of course, the Boston Bad Boys, Aerosmith.
Unbelievable.
And the coolest man on the planet, Mr. Joe Perry. So this is where we hang out during a show. It's open every once in a while to the public, but it's attached to my box that's here, and it's just an enjoyable space.
It really is, and it really, I think, complements the experience that you're having out there.
Absolutely.
And then you come in here, and I mean, you really feel special when you come in this room. And
It's a nice place to hang out. Alcohol beverages for those over 21. There's usually some nice food here. It's just a great thing.
it's a great place to hang out.
So I tell you what, let's go see the shop.
All right, let's go.